About time, get in there.
There's all kinds of construction.
Yeah, there is.
Would you all please join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to need a closed session today to talk about litigation. But other than that, I think it's gonna be a fairly simple meeting instead of. So Andy, oh, no, I'm sorry. Samantha, did you wanna introduce your guest and
I
then?
do. I have with me today Heather Krippus. I am part of, and she is part of a leadership program at the hospital where I mentor a mentee who is an upcoming leader to lead the hospital, and she is following me today to see everything that I do. So welcome her. Heather is the manager of surgical services at Horizon Health.
Nice to meet you.
Just a quick, let me give a follow-up to the rest of the board on the
Sure, absolutely,
a quick
yes.
follow-up from the sheriff's meeting that we had where we were talking about bills. The Clark County Jail administrative assistant pays the Horizon Health claims. She has a list of the Medicaid allowables, and when the claim comes in, she knows what the Medicaid allowable is. She pays that, creates an invoice, and sends it to DHS to get the jail reimbursed for the cost that they paid Horizon Health. So I was able to get that to Philip Dovelstein and let him review their process and the contact for down there as well.
And I did meet with Phil and he is doing that and will get back to us shortly. So if he feels that it is okay for us, then he'll bring it to the board and we'll move forward.
You say that was sheriff's administrative
Like
secretary?
Vicky,
Yeah, okay, all right, okay.
and it's simplified. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
then we can issue checks, get caught up, and then wait to get the other. Thank you. Everything else okay?
I think so. Do you guys have anything for me? We have some truck maintenance issues. We're waiting on the air conditioner to get replaced in the back of our dual cab truck. We've got a transmission recall on one of the other ones, so we're just jockeying around expensive bills, but that's it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Andy?
We had the fines pulled off the government building. Gutters cleaned, fines pulled off, and they got back there, and you been back there at all? I didn't realize that they'd grown up into the electric connection so bad. So he said they started to pull them off and the arc real big, and he said we quit. And I said, well, I don't think I'll even go that far. But I'm not sure. That needs, we need to get an electrician. I've told,
Well, that's almost an emergency situation, so do you wanna call Eric?
yeah, if you want me to, I will.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
don't you think that, I mean,
I wanna get.
what happens if it grows a little bit or, and then, or more, or
Or
comes in,
rains and then
and then
arcs it out.
it blows that whole thing out?
Yeah, catch the building on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably a hazard.
Yeah.
In that case, we can clear, if you can get a hold of him, let me know. That was Trish that just called me a few minutes ago, so. They got,
Probably need to have that gutter cleaned again. I almost thought about waiting a little while because,
I wanted him to get out there and look. We can call him back out in November
okay, 'cause
after everything's done.
after those evergreen trees shed their needles.
It's $200 to do that whole building. And I mean, there's a lot of gutters and stuff to clean there.
I'd like to get, I'm gonna call Tingley back and say, dude, you need to fix those two downspouts better than what they left. I mean, they just put the metal box or the gutter right on top and then half of it leaks out. Then go down into the pipe.
Do you have his number?
I'll look and see. I can
If
do
you
that.
don't, I'll text it to you.
Okay, I'll look and see.
Yeah, we should before we get an ice dam in there and it tears all of it up,
Yeah.
okay? Or if he couldn't do it, come up with a solution so we don't have an issue.
Yeah, I think they make PVC connectors that go for, I'll ask him, I'll call him and say, hey, tell me what's going on, cause it's kinda running down there. We got enough water problems there.
And we did send out a notice by the 27th, everybody was supposed to have everything out of the two buildings, okay? And I know they worked on, I talked to Jill this morning, and I think they've got everything out of there, but there's a few things left. And she was going to send out an alert to all of the department heads to let them know what was still there. And I talked to Don, and he was gonna get everything out by Friday. And, Ross had some things still in there that he was gonna get out, so.
Ross had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but he had worked on it since I think we were there.
Okay.
Because I went over and told him that he really,
Needs to get that out of there.
yeah, make a junk pile somewhere else.
Right.
But you know, some of that stuff's reusable in parts, so it ain't right. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's pretty much it.
Building's done.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the building, the courthouse.
The courthouse,
Except for getting landscaping in.
yeah, everything done, looks nice.
And is Dusty gonna kinda give us are you guys gonna work on what we're gonna do and then let the board know, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe you could still execute it this fall, because that would
Some
give
of
us
it.
through the winter.
Some of it.
Well, yeah, you can do it in phases.
Okay.
How about the dog,
Hmm,
dogs and cats?
which one do I know about?
Which one, you got anything to
Boy,
tell us?
it doesn't matter, you're gonna tell me what you wanna tell us anyway.
I haven't talked to Andrew last week, I tried a couple times, she wasn't there. She was on TV a couple weeks ago, being interviewed, really good, did a good job. She had a dog she's trying to adopt out, I can't remember the name of the dog, it's kind of an odd name, but she does a real good job, and I complimented her on it, so. Other than that, still got the hairless cat, if you need a cat.
Has she reviewed the budget, her new budget with you guys?
No, not yet. We have a
Well, it was
meeting
good last.
Coming up.
October the 8th.
Okay.
Meeting October the 8th, that's soon enough.
Well, she had a deadline of September 18th.
I haven't got to,
Well, everybody did. And
I'll
we
try
got
to-
most of them
You might
in.
get a hold of her and
I'll
see
try to get
if
hold of
she's
her.
got anything done on
I've been by a couple times, but she's been gone. so. Okay,
What's her new last name?
pardon?
What's her new last name?
it. Kisper.
Kisper. Had him in class. Kinda quiet, but good guy.
Russ, do you have anything?
I talked to Michael this morning on his inspection of the tower. Said everything looked good, what Shaggy got done as far as rebracing the steps and the stairs. We found one of those washers that still wasn't turned right. So Shaggy said he'd take care of it.
I don't understand what's.
You were not
There was some masonry
Braces.
tiebacks, braces, they added in, and the washers were turned weird. and
Okay,
Dug in.
They were meant to be tightened at the correct angle so that it wouldn't loosen up and it
and
didn't maximum hold. They weren't tightened quite at the right angle, so they need to be loosened,
And turned so. they
turned a
set
little
flat.
and then tightened. Not a big deal, but just needed to be done.
Yeah, he said just one of those was left. He said everything else was good.
yeah, I talked to him Friday, he called me
Did you?
Friday afternoon and he gave us a pretty good report. And even the concrete, these guys go over there with
Yeah,
him.
we
with
went
the
over there and looked it all
So
over.
he thought it was doable and
Yes.
no issue, well, no issues.
Right.
So, when Michael went over there with you, he feels
Yes.
comfortable with how it's.
Yeah, he was concerned about those plates,
Right.
and after they discussed it, the offset in the plates matches the offset of the angle that's poured into the precast walls.
Right, and of course, they came out a second time,
Yes.
the precast people. And, well, they are evaluating and making sure that what they're building will do the job, and they came back a second time just to double check on a few things. So, Michael indicated to me, and I guess to you, that
Yes,
we're good.
it looked good.
Yeah.
Did they discuss about the drains in the cells? You know, that was kind of an
Yeah,
issue.
It didn't really seem like any problem. It
Okay.
was something they had planned in the beginning, but didn't,
Right.
Okay.
it's gonna work out.
All right.
Yep. So, things are back on track
It sure
until
sounds-
the next,
Yes, until the
until
next
the next thing.
thing, yeah.
Now, you know, it is gonna cost them some extra money to get the drains in. I mean, you know, so, but that's manageable within what we're doing, so,
It's supposed to be still on schedule for precast walls.
yep, second week.
Second week in October, it'll start really moving over there.
I'll give you anything when I go around the table.
Thursday, we start early voting, and we're all set and ready to go for that. Last Friday, I mailed out ballots to military and overseas civilians, and I've got a lot of those back already. So we've been busy, and it's going to get busier.
What number is that? How many did you send to that subset?
To the military and overseas, there were 15 requests that came in.
We got boys and girls all over, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think we had any.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, our prayer list at St. Mary's North Farm is, 8 or 10 people. Yeah, they're overseas.
That's good. Anything else, buddy?
No.
Carl?
No, other than, do you have anything, Lisa, on the Paycom and Harris and all that?
A little bit. Met Friday with Jennifer Gear and Pam, just to discuss moving forward with the position that's open. And we had talked about Harris. Pam had made a call, they weren't available when we were available, but they use a third party as well, so it wasn't within Paycom, or it wasn't within Harris, so it'd still be a third party. And from what little she talked to them, it sounded like the services were similar as Paycom, but we had discussed that it might be best to stick with Paycom to get the new person trained rather than having them try to
Right.
learn two at once.
Right.
So that's not off the table, but it's not urgent.
I was supposed to text you and let you know that they had talked to Don. I'm just remembering now, 5 days later, so I apologize.
So you're moving forward with like advertising the
Well,
position?
Jeff and I need to talk about that as well. Yes,
Okay.
we need to, by word of mouth, and obviously internal folks know that it's there,
Right.
that the opening is there. They don't know that we're accepting applications necessarily, other than for word of mouth. I've had one internal and 2 external send me resumes already, and,
You've got another one coming, internal.
okay. So we need to get on it. We need to make sure that folks inside know about it, and then externally.
I thought Russ put it on the, I thought Pam put it on the internet, or on our website for all our
As
employees.
of Friday,
It wasn't on the.
no.
He was, well, I thought he did too. I thought one of my gals thought it
Yeah,
was up
because
there.
several of the folks had seen it.
Pam said
Pam had said
When I talked to
it
her Friday,
wasn't.
she said it hadn't been advertised.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of times what he'll do, it won't be right on the home page. You gotta go to downloads and find it. In this case, I assume it'll be under the county board.
Because one of the people said they found it, that they saw it
Yeah.
online. So,
Okay.
I don't know.
And he did email that notice out to all the department heads.
Right.
So I think you both were on that, weren't you
Right.
CC'd on that? Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as, we probably need to talk about that a little more, about making sure it's very obvious to internally.
Right.
Yeah. How about you, Lisa?
Oh, yeah. Health Board, we met last week. Have you received their budget? Because we voted on it, and their budget is slightly less than last year. That's partly due to staffing that they don't, well, it's slightly less than last year. They don't have a director of nursing, and Kim said she had wanted to get a better handle for what all that director of nursing would do to decide whether or not that position needs to be the same as it was in the past, which is a wise move. So she's kind of trying to fill that role for now. They are in the schools with the dental program. Kim, because she's new to the position, is very proactive on training. Some of them are required, some of them are not. They are working on a couple of different grants than they have had in the past. She's working well with Janet, and so Janet's been really helpful and has provided her with a lot of education, because I said, you gotta focus on that, because, you have Janet there with a wealth of knowledge. So she said they're getting along well there. Had Sycamore out twice within the last week or so on heating and cooling issues.
Now, I don't know what to do with them. I can't get Russ or Ross to do anything, and I can't get Sycamore to do
That's
anything
because,
either.
that's why Ross won't, I keep bugging you, he's called it,
I know.
they won't do anything.
I said, and I gave Ross the okay to get an independent person in there and meet with Sycamore. And he said he would, and I guess Sycamore, I don't know. I don't know what it should be easily fixed, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. I think maybe I don't know if Ross ever got an independent person in there.
Can we go up the chain at Sycamore and say, look, this is your staff, our staff, and set up a meeting so we
Yeah.
can get them together?
Yeah, but I mean, maybe that's what we need to do. I'd kind of like to get Ross out of it.
It's been over a year.
I know. And
They have an office out the hospital, Sycamore. I thought somebody said they did.
they're
Okay.
out there a lot.
They don't have an office.
Otherwise, that building is looking really good inside and outside, other than for the parking lot. They took the retaining wall out that
I
was
saw
on the south, and that looks much better.
Okay.
So if you get a chance, stop in there. It looks really good between what they had to fix because of the storm and other things that they have done. It looks very professional, and I think things are going well out there.
Did they notice any decrease in utility bills with, or maybe not, but it's kind of, you had one person there, now the next person, she got plenty to do,
Right,
decides
she
to.
didn't say anything about that.
Hell, that's an energy, that building's needs some work on it gradually to make it more energy efficient.
It just needs money spent out there on a regular basis for quite some time.
It does.
Yeah.
Did the county highway get with them to
Yes.
get that resolved, the parking lot?
Yes, she and Aaron have been communicating.
Okay.
And he'd said just a ballpark figure, it would probably cost about $30,000 to get done what needs to be,
She okay with that?
everything. Yeah, he said, I'll make it work.
Okay.
Have anyone doing the restaurant inspections? They were hiring about it?
Oh,
Not that
yeah,
long
they're
quote.
fine, they're
Okay,
fine.
I just wondered.
Yeah.
Just wondered.
They're good.
Okay.
So I think that's it on the health board. Met with Pam and Jennifer last week. Tomorrow, we have the smaller group that met before our last elected official department head meeting. And we talked about the employee handbook, some questions there. That's just a really good small group to bounce things off of. And then we have our elected official and department head meeting at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. And Augie, thank you, has the agenda posted, or will be shortly.
It is.
Okay. And we're gonna go for a more structured format. And, you know, Jeff and I had met with a consultant he had met multiple times, I only met twice, with a consultant about strategic planning who ended up being offended. And, I said, you know what? we
Not
can-
at me.
Yeah, at me. We can do the nuts and bolts of the strategic
It's a little
plan.
joke.
Of a strategic plan, we're just not gonna put it in a pretty package. We're not gonna do all of the steps of a super formalized strategic plan. But, and it will be interesting to do that with county government rather than corporate or education, which is where my background's been. So and after this meeting, we'll discuss, do we wanna continue meeting quarterly or every other month? But we need to talk about, you know, the first part is discussing strategic plan. This time would be an overview of what the goal is. County board update from Jeff. Then discuss topics, whether it's HR payroll, which this time of course would be, fiscal and building and grounds. And you know, do building and grounds too then?
I can.
Okay. And then just, we go around the room, department updates. And so the goal is keep it at an hour. So. And I already have what I want to talk about at each meeting or discuss at each meeting regarding strategic plan. And I really look for the group that meets the day before to give some guidance to help make sure that stays on task. I'm playing phone tag, which is on me pretty much. And Augie, we need to talk afterwards about somebody who's been asking me about solar. And I don't know any details yet. I still need to send Phil a request to write a letter to the folks who have the solar project north of Kansas that have not been responsive to previous communication.
Somebody
Or
asked me about
emergency.
one too, one out west of town. They asked me how the procedure for getting the okay to do it. I don't know if you heard about that or not.
Well, I
Got
know.
by Harrington Trucking Company out in that area.
No, I
They
don't
want to
know
know the
about that one.
procedure for
Is
getting,
that for them or is that a commercial one?
it's commercial, you can sell Amron. So I don't know how big it's supposed to be or whatever, but they were asking me the procedure and I said, well, I guess it's gotta go to
And-
Augie, right?
No,
And who is they? Is that the company or Harrington's?
Or-
Who is that?
It's not Harrington, it's someone else who was asking Harrington the procedure for doing it. So I said, I'll check on it.
The answer is always go to the county website and look at the ordinance. It's always the answer.
They said whoever's doing it was get out all the information, get everything done. It's gonna take about 6 months. But he didn't give me the name of the person that's supposed to get everything done for this guy. So I don't know. That's all I can tell him.
It's either go to the website or give,
Okay.
refer
Well,
to
he
Lisa.
said this guy, I guess, knew what to do, but said it would take about 6 months to get the okay, if they get it okayed, I don't know. I don't know how many acres or anything. I think it's like 40 acres or something like that. So it's out west of town, northwest.
I knew about one on the east, not about the west. Okay, that's all I have.
Lisa, as far as the 708 board and so forth, we need to fill 2 positions.
One now and one pretty soon.
Right,
Yes.
when that lobby comes up.
Yeah.
So, I do not see anywhere, but I'll check with Don about the health department getting their budget to us.
Okay.
Don may already have it, so I don't wanna, if there's an issue, I'll call her.
She was very aware and we did vote on it.
Well, it'll be a miracle if we already have it, because usually it comes in October,
Yeah.
so. Any other questions of Lisa? Okay,
I
I guess I got a question, like on Sycamore. Seemed like there's always an issue with them getting stuff done. I know it seemed like every month at the courthouse, they're there fixing something. And it's been like that ever since we had them do that. Is there other companies that do that stuff? I mean, I know they're the ones that put it in, but, I mean, it's just, I don't know, I'm just,
Do we? I get, you know, I haven't, have they been up there lately at the courthouse?
I never do.
Every day?
Well, they could,
Seemed
if they
like
come
that.
in,
I see a deal.
you know, after I'm there and before I leave, I don't know.
I don't know who's calling them then.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know. Maybe it's Ray, but it seems like
Have to be Ray.
always we're getting bills from them for something. I don't, you know, I don't have any idea what they are. But it's not real explicit, but.
Well, when Ray gets back, maybe we can talk to him and
Yeah,
find
I'd
out.
ask Ray, and Ray may be the one calling them.
Right, that's what
I
I'm
assume
saying.
he is, but I guess I'm not aware that they're up there that much, but
And then is there frequency in the same problem, or are these just
Right, right.
And
independent issues?
I think they've got a pretty good communication with it over the internet with the courthouse. So maybe they see an issue and just show up too. I don't know. I need to check with Ray and see.
Well, instead of trying to activate the existing system, which should be, that's not working, can we put in a different system? Or, I mean, communication system?
Oh, you mean for the health department?
Yeah. Can
Yeah,
we
I
do something
think-
different that might work better?
Yeah, I really, just from what I could deduce from what I've been told, I think it's on their end, and I'm not on Sycamore's end. And I think something has happened at some point in time, and internally in their,
And they're closed-minded about it, that, nope, it's not our, I mean,
right,
But we don't have the same communication problem with the courthouse. Their automated or remote system works
works
fine for
pretty good there,
notifying the
yes.
courthouse.
And that, it just was occurring to me as you were saying
So
that,
why
how come it
not
works
the
so
other?
good there and not
Yeah.
down there?
well, we
Okay,
need to, as
Well-
soon as Ray gets back, we need to,
I'll find out about the courthouse.
Yeah,
And-
and then talk to someone up the chain,
I
get
don't
something
know,
done over at
Larry.
the health department.
Larry Gower, remember Larry?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll try to call him. I assume he's still there.
I,
If not, he can tell me who is in charge
I've
and
been
just say,
talking-
I wanna get this fixed. We're just
we've been talking about this for,
a couple, 3 years.
Time to get it done.
One
Yeah.
other thing, the BEAD grant, the Internet out in the Boonies grant, I have been communicating with Mike Nelson, the Frontier contact, and had already, and Augie has it on the agenda for our next study session. He's
I saw
gonna
that.
come. It's time for us to do a letter of support, and again, he's the only one, that's the only company that has expressed interest. But this last email from him included a map of the county with the little dots, and my whole section of the county is nowhere. So I said to him, what about that northeast corner
You're
of
out
the
in the middle
county?
of nowhere.
Yeah, if you're not serving us in the boonies, then it's really, we're not ready. And it isn't just my house, it's the whole swath of the north end, all the way across. So, but the test is, if it shows up at my house and the house next to us to the further east, then you'll know you've reached the remote area. So, but anyway, he's supposed to be here at our next study session.
the budget is being put together. I don't know that we have them all. I talked to one of the department heads yesterday, and they haven't quite got theirs done yet, but as soon as it's together, I'll get it out to you in the rough form, so you can start looking at where we're at. The tower, radio tower, they're supposed to do that, what would you call it?
Study.
Evaluation study that we couldn't find because they've had numerous owners. And this way, For example, if AT&T wants to come out here, we've got all the information. It's not an expensive study, but we're getting that done, and then we'll start going up the tower, getting the transmitters all fixed up and ready to go.
Is there a likelihood that we'll be placing other people's stuff on our tower?
We
Do we have
haven't
any idea?
talked about it. I mean, we could.
It would be a great way to subsidize. I just didn't know if there was any interest or if that was outdated when it comes to big technology.
Does, Midwest Communication, do they have a repeater on that tower now? They did at one point.
I think the radio station, from what I understand, it was just 911, the sheriff's department, and the radio station at this point. That's what Josh Levin said. But, I mean, the board would have to make a decision whether they wanted to invite other folks onto it.
Currently, the tower, there's AT&T at the current jail, correct?
Correct.
And do we have a contract with them?
Yes, and I've taken it up to Doublestein, so we know what it is, because remember I reported here several months back that they indicated that they were there until, I forget, another 16 or 17 years.
Right.
And Phil let me know that no, we've got a point coming up in January of 26 where we can bump them off legally.
Right, yeah.
And so whether they're interested, and they,
Maybe not from there to,
right, and I did talk to them about that, and they said, well, we just have to see whether that fits into our network coming out there. So I definitely think we should offer them another spot. But as far as, I haven't talked to anybody else, and I don't know about the cellulars, whether they're interested, I just don't know. At any rate, we need to go into closed session for litigation. Is there anything else we need to talk about? We'll take no action that we have to provide. So is there a motion to go into closed session for litigation, please? Andy moves, Russ seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Okay, we're in closed session. We thank our guests for being here. Good luck, Heather.
Thank you very much. Andy's got a drum.
Meeting.
Okay.
Anything else to come before the study session? Hearing none, motion to adjourn. Russ moves, Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. We're closed.
Closed.